Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever wanted to just talk about your day in English nice and easy? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to follow a story from sunrise to sunset, picking up all the most important phrases you'll need. The whole idea here is to give you the words you need to talk about your life, what you do, where you go, who you see. By the time we're done, you'll have this awesome toolkit of phrases you can use right away. So here's our plan for the day. We'll kick things off with morning stuff, then move on to getting around, talking about jobs, ordering food, checking the weather, and finally picking out something to wear. Ready? Let's jump right in.
All right, first up, starting the day. This is where every single day begins, right? That alarm goes off, or the sun starts peeking through the window. So let's cover the English you need for your morning routine.
So picture this. The alarm clock rings. This is probably the first question that pops into your head, right? What time do you wake up? Let's look at the best way to answer it.
Okay, so context is totally key here. I wake up at 6 o'clock is perfect. It's a direct answer to the question about time. Now, I am waking up isn't wrong, but it describes what's happening right now, not your usual routine. So if you want to be super clear, sticking with I wake up at is definitely the way to go.
Okay, so you're up, you're ready to go. What's next? Getting where you need to be. Someone might ask you, how do you go to school? It's really just asking how you get from point A to point B.
And yep, the answer is just as simple. I go to school by bus. The magic word here is by. We use it for all kinds of transport, like by bus, by car, or by train. It's a really handy little word.
All right, we've made it to our destination, which brings us to part 2, getting around town. Trying to find your way around a new place can be a little tough, right? So let's learn some essential English for asking for directions.
A classic situation. We've all been there. You need to find somewhere important, and that "excuse me" at the beginning, it's the perfect, polite way to start a conversation with a stranger.
So, how do you answer that? Well, there's a super useful phrase for this, next to. It just means it's right beside something. So a great answer would be, the hospital is next to the bank. See? Super simple, super clear.
Okay, here's another one you'll hear all the time. This one isn't just about where it is, it's about the steps to actually get there. It's about the journey.
And look how simple the answer is. First, go straight. Just keep going forward. Then, turn left. Boom. Done. 2 easy steps, and you're on your way to the park. Okay, so we found our way around town, no problem. And as we're walking, we're seeing all these people at work, which leads us perfectly into Section 3, meeting people at work. Let's learn how to talk about what they do.
Now here is a question I bet almost every single one of us has been asked. It's such a great question because it's all about dreams and what you want to do, and it's a fantastic way to learn the names of different jobs.
So let's break down the answer. Saying, I want to be a pilot is just right. Now, a tiny mistake a lot of people make is forgetting that little word a. In English, you need it before the job title, like a pilot, a doctor, or a teacher. It's just a small word, but it makes your English sound so much more natural. So let's do a quick rundown of the jobs we've talked about. We've got a police officer, a teacher, a pilot, a doctor, and a dentist. These are just a handful, but they're jobs you'll definitely hear about all the time.
Wow, all that exploring has made me hungry. How about you? So it's the perfect time for Section 4, time for a meal. Let's pop into a cafe and learn how to order something to eat or drink.
So, picture it. You're sitting in a nice cafe. The waiter comes over and asks you this very question. What's the best way to answer?
The best way to answer is super simple and, most importantly, polite. Orange juice, please. That little word, please, at the end, it's like magic. It just makes everything sound so much friendlier.
And of course, when they bring you your juice, there's another magic phrase, thank you. Seriously, being polite is such a huge part of communicating well, no matter what language you're speaking.
All right, we've finished our drink and we're heading back outside. But hold on, what's the weather doing now? This takes us to Section 5, because talking about the weather is huge for planning your day.
This is just simple common sense, right? If it's raining, you're gonna want an umbrella. You're not gonna grab your sunglasses. That just wouldn't make any sense.
And check this out. Here's a great real-world example. Being able to talk about the weather lets you describe places all over the world, like telling someone that it gets really, really hot in Thailand in April.
And that actually brings us to our last section for the day, choosing your outfit. Because hey, now that we know about the weather, we can figure out what to wear. So let's learn how to talk about our clothes.
This is such a simple question, but it's perfect for practicing your vocabulary for both colors and clothes. So how would you answer?
And the answer is just as easy. I am wearing a blue t-shirt. You just say what you're wearing, and you can throw in a color to add a little more detail. It's a great little sentence to practice.
And believe it or not, just like that, we've covered an entire day. From the moment you wake up to choosing your clothes, you've now got the key phrases you need to talk about your life in English.
So, I'm going to leave you with one final question to think about. You have all the tools now. The most important part is to actually use them. Think about your day ahead. So go on. What will you talk about in English today?